in the second run. Bucky Dent scores it, and it's 2-0. And now the batter, Catfish Hunter. Pretty good hitter. Hit a home run over the center field fence at RFK Stadium a little over a week ago. That's in there. Good sharp liner. Moves the runners around. Here's Mickey Rivers. Grounded out second first time up. He reached for Rawlings and fouled it. Hey, lined into a double play. 2 runs for the 70s. And the score at the end of an inning and a half remains the 70 Yankees 2. The 60 Yankees, nothing. Uh-oh. Come up with a new pitch. Learned that in the Bronx Zoo. Come on, Spark. We ain't got all day. That's it. Fastball. Ooh. Tom Tresh, the batter. 2-0 in favor of the 70s Yankees. There's a hard shot to third. Spencer records the out. Jim Mason made the fine play at third. Here's Clete Boyer. We need a first base coach. Look out. Hit it. Robin Merrill will take his 1.5 and coach it first base. Save a little something, Sparky. John Blanchard's coming up. Line drive, base hit to center field. Gives Boyer 9,722 career base hits. He runs a fantasy camp. John Blanchard. John was always a great pull hitter for the Yankees. He pulls that one to right field, but not far enough. Maddox made the catch and the 2 away. Here's Jay Gibbs. Went from an All-America quarterback at Ole Miss, played baseball, and wound up in the major leagues. You think you'll ever get that pitch over the plate, Sparky? There's a drive to right field. Maddox out there, one-hands it. Side is retired. We played 2 innings of our old-timers games. It's a tight one, 2-0 in favor of the 70s Yankees. Mason. Ferraro is at third, excuse me. Hector Lopez in left field. Bobby Mercer in center. Tom Tresh in right. 2-0 favor the 70s Yankees. 41st annual Old Timers reunion. Out of play. It became out of play. You'd have had that a few years ago, Jake. Made him reach out, bounce to the box. One away. Cooks to Skowron. Elliot Maddox coming up. Fly to right field, first time up. You got the good wood on that one. Bobby Mercer's fast fielding held it to a single. Here's Jim Spencer. Popped out to second, first time up. 2-0. And the 70s Yankees out in front. Hey, what kind of defense you guys got out there? Bobby Richardson is playing way over toward first base. Moose on the line. Moose, anything wrong with you? You're just playing on a dime, as usual. Jim, they got the overshift on you. Bunt one down the third base line. He's going to beat that chip. He wants to hit one out. Hey, got the force man. Had possession for the force out at second. Dropped the ball, trying to get hold of it to throw to first. Lost his double play at the force out at second. 2-0. 70 Yankees leading. Ron Blumberg out, takes it inside. 0-1. 2-0. And the 70s lead. Spencer on first. 2 down. Got an overshift on him. Hits it to straightaway center. Hector Lopez made the catch. The side is retired. And at the end of 2.5 innings, the 70 Yankees leading 2-0. Shortstop on the Yankees' last 2 world champions in 1977 and 78. He reserved a permanent place in Yankee history when he hit the shot heard round the world off Boston's Mike Torres, sparking the Bombers' 1978 Eastern Division playoff victory. And that completed their dramatic comeback.
My guest is Ralph Houk. You are one of the spokesmen, I understand, for Equitable, and obviously this is a very good cause.
Well, you know, the money Equitable puts in, but Sparky had good stuff, and so did, you know, the Hall of Famer Catfish. So it's been a little bit of a tough battle, but I think we still got a chance. That ball would have fell in, we'd have had it won.
Ralph, thank you again, and continued good health.
My pleasure.
Back to Mel Allen.
The 60 Yankees trailing by 2. 1 out, their last turn at bat. Little sidearm right-handed stuff from good old Dirt. I didn't see that last pitch, so it's still 3-1. High pop to Jim Spencer. And the two-way. Mike Ferraro coming up. 1 out left to the 60s. Out of play. Oh, nice pick up a bobble. He throw and he got it. And that means the ball game is over. And the 1970 Yankees defeat the 60 Yankees 2-0. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. To no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Let's have a good warm round of applause for all these old-timers and young-timers who come back to give us the pleasure of watching them play again. The New York Yankees, thank you all for coming back to make this a happy day. And our thanks to the folks at Equitable in another of their 26 games.
And the Yankees and their fans say, thank you, Mel Allen.
La Vega in the Dominican Republic. 26-year-old Jose De Leon will go to the mound. An ERA of 3.96, a record of 5-8, but some pretty impressive numbers. And the one that really sticks out, take a look at that. 109 innings pitched, only 83 base hits. That's working pretty good for a ball club that just doesn't hit. And that's one of the reasons De Leon has that 5-8 record. He gives you a good ball game just about every time out. In his last outing, he was beaten by Baltimore. Orioles won that one 4-1. His previous defeat, California beat him 3-1. So you get an idea that the White Sox are just not going to score too many runs for. Defensively, for Chicago, Jerry Hairston at first, Donnie Hill at first, Ozzie Guillen at short, Jerry Royster at third, Gary Reedus in left, Ken Williams in center, Ivan Calderon around and right, Ron Karkovice behind the plate, and De Leon on the mound as Ricky Henderson will lead it off here for the New York Yankees. Happy you can be with us on this Saturday afternoon. Third game of this 4-game series. Ricky Henderson 1 for 5 last night, hitting at .319. Inside for a ball. I'll give you an idea how strong this De Leon was last year when Roger Clemens lost only 4 games. Jose De Leon beat him back-to-back outings. 7-2 and 1-0.
The White Sox thought he was going to be a great acquisition for him.
They gave away what I thought was a pretty good ball player for him, Bobby Bonilla, over to the Pittsburgh Pirates. But Chicago wanted this big young man.
It's easy for a fellow to lose his enthusiasm, as you started to point out a little while ago, when the rest of the ball club is down.
Well, De Leon should be used to it. Was he 2-19 for Pittsburgh in 1985? 2-19.
He was just practicing.
Well, they were just practicing. 1-2 to Henderson.
You know, sometimes these are the clubs that are the toughest to beat, and when you're trying to stay in first place or trying to get into first place or trying to win a pennant.
Well, these are the clubs who get the highest for you, as you know, through the years. I mean, this is World Series time for a team like the White Sox, sitting in last place. They come up against a contender or a top-ranked team, particularly the Yankees. And that sounds perhaps a little chauvinistic as far as the Yankees are concerned, but through the years, they have been the team everybody's wanted to beat more than anybody else. Breaking ball foul away.
Well, through the years, if you go back to, roughly speaking, 1920, Yankees acquired the contract of Babe Ruth, who was an outstanding pitcher for the Red Sox, and they turned him into an everyday player, an outfielder. They knew he could hit. Then they won a pennant in 21, and the tradition started. And I don't know, it's just like any other business, I suppose. When you're on top, that's when people start shooting at you.
Sure, people want to knock you down. That's why it's so tough to repeat. Everybody's ready for the top gun when they come to town the next time around. And we've seen it in every sport, year after year, the difficulty in repeating. Pitch inside for a ball. 2-2 to Henderson. No score, bottom of the first.
Nobody's repeated here since 1978. The Yankees won 77-78.
Basketball goes back quite a bit further than that. Barkovich just unable to hold on to that foul tip. Henderson just get a little bit of it.
You know, the All-Star game ahead of time, the old-timers, Ralph Houck became manager, and the Yankees won 5 pennants in a row under him. But under Casey Stengel, they won 5 pennants and 5 world championships. That's
49.
never been done before nor since. 49 for 53.
Fastball, Luke, foul. It'll go out of play. 49, they beat the Dodgers. 50, they beat the Phillies.
Yeah, the Whiz Kids.
Yeah, 51. That was Whitey's first World Series. He won the final game. Never forgave Gene Woodland for dropping that fly ball in the 9th inning. Cost him the shutout.
Funny thing, the so-called Cracker Jack game down in Washington.
Yeah.
There's a Philly catcher named Andy Seminy. If you pronounced it real fast, some people got mad at you.
Second baseman Donnie Hill, and the former Oakland A very nearly threw it away. Is safe at first base as Hairston was pulled off the bag. Hairston could not keep his foot on the bag, and that'll have to be an error against Donnie Hill.
But we were talking about that last game that played here at Yankee Stadium. A quick moment. Whitey Ford had a shutout, 9th inning. The Yankees were well ahead, something like 5-0. And what would have been the 3rd out, the ball got up into the sun, and in late September then, and you could lose. He did. But, in came Allie Reynolds from the bullpen, and Stan LaPata was sent up to pinch hit. 3 pitches.
There goes the runner. And Henderson is in under the tag. He doesn't believe it.
That's close.
Ricky Henderson stole number 25, and Jim Fregosi is going to come out and argue this one. Ron Karkovice toughed me into steal on. He had thrown out 10 of 14 and 5 in a row, and Fregosi doesn't believe it. But what an arm by Karkovice.
He is letting Vic Voltaggio have a mouthful. And if he keeps it up, he may get more than just a mouthful, because he's got a big chew in his cheek. And sometimes they have habit of getting some of that spittle on an umpire's face. Billy Jerkes did that once to Major Kurth years ago. He got a 10-day suspension.
I would take another look at this right here, Mel.
From up here, it looked as if he might have been out. The throw beats him.
I don't know, Mel. Like
well, the throw beat him, but where his tag was, Ricky's hand got on the corner of the bag.
Let's see it again from this angle.
See, the throw is there ahead of him.
Safe.
But when he slid in, the ball wasn't put on him. If he'd have thrown to the inside of the bag, I think he'd been out.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And down just a little bit lower. But a lot of velocity on that throw by Karkovice. Henderson down at second. Yankees have been an opportunistic team all year long and trying to take advantage of an error by the second baseman, Donnie Hill. And the fastball in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Randolph. It was 1 for 4 last night.
He's having a sensational year, isn't he, Spencer?
Yankee co-captain. I'll tell you right now, if you had to vote for MVP for this Yankee ball, it would have to be between this man and Dave Winfield. And Willie Randolph would get a lot of votes.
A quiet leader.
Hitting at .314, 47 RBIs. That's 14 off his career high. He fouls that one away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
always thought of as a fellow who could get on base somehow or other. He got a lot of walks. But this year, in a revitalized and changed lineup, he's been swinging at first pitches. He's been going for base hits and driving in runs.
And
he usually was a table setter.
Yeah, and he's still been getting the bases on balls, second in that category in the league. Second in the league in on-base percentage. Leads the league in runs scored. A jam there, and he fouls it away. 70 runs for Willie Randolph. Wade Boggs with 69.
Willie is quite adept at going to the opposite way. Obviously, he's got to get a kind of a pitching handle. With a runner on second, nobody out, move him to third. But with 2 strikes, he's got to protect himself. So he's trying to pull that one.
Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Willie Randolph. Henderson down at second, reaching on the throwing error by Donnie Hill, stealing his 25th base of the season.
Spencer, what do you think about the lively ball from the standpoint you mentioned Boggs? Now, he's hit more homers than he's ever hit.
Now, I don't know if he's a good example to use, because I think he can hit home runs last year.
Well, he could have, but he's been dropped to third in the batting order, so you bat differently. Yeah,
right, exactly.
His responsibilities become different. You can't just slap the ball around the field always.
But the ball certainly is carrying quite a bit this year, Mel. Pitch fouled away. All those opposite field home runs. Yes, the players are stronger, but did they get that stronger that quickly? This fella. Lively ball, dead ball, doesn't matter.
They're going to finally find out that the jet stream has adjusted, and that has caused it.
Was that right?
They're going to bring about, something that stems out of the nuclear situation.
Yankees getting a lot of cuts against De Leon.
Have you talked about Pete Filson?
Yeah, Pete Filson, we mentioned him last night. We'll tell the fans who missed it yesterday. Bob Tewksbury optioned back to Columbus, and Pete Filson becomes a New York Yankee. The youngster originally was a Yankee, went to Minnesota, and then the Yankees got him from the White Sox over the winter. He was the International League Pitcher of the Year last year, winning 13 ball games for Buffalo. His third baseman, Jerry Royster, holds Henderson, and Randolph is retired for the first out. The cheers you hear are for number 23, Don Mattingly. Last night, his 3rd Grand Slam home run of the season. And watch this pitch. It is low and inside, and Mattingly just adjusts and really strokes it.
He's got tremendously fast wrists.
Unbelievable to watch. 3rd Grand Slam. The major league record is 5. Ernie Banks did it in 1955, and Jim Gentile of the Baltimore Orioles in 1961. Pitch in for a strike. And you have to consider the fact that Mattingly's missed 17 ball games this year, and already with 3 Grand Slam home runs. But you need people like Henderson and Randolph in front of you to get the opportunity to hit Grand Slam home run. 0-2.
It just seems like the other day when he's off to that poor start, he generally doesn't hit as well in the first half of the season as he does in the latter part, but he was way down. And to think he right now is hitting 333.
And climbing. Spun out and missed, strike 3. De Leon didn't waste anything, went right after Mattingly, got him on an 0-2 pitch.
Throwing some slow stuff.
2 men away.
My guess sitting here would be that they were looking for something faster, and he's been crossing them up and getting them out in front.
Well, Mr. Beck is no longer with us, but if he were around and he looked at this youngster, Jose De Leon on the mound, he might make some of those high statements about him that he made about Harold Bain. Because De Leon could turn out to be one of the greats. Pitch inside for a ball. Record doesn't show it, but the ability. Last year, for the White Sox, they scored more than 2 runs only twice in his 9 starts. This year, we mentioned some of the ball games he's been in, losing 3-1, 4-1, 6-3. He just haven't scored for him. 3.96 ERA, which by today's standards is pretty impressive.
I think the Tigers are trying to get him earlier in the year.
Well, a lot of teams, I would think, though. Fastball's fouled away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Great crowd on hand. How many of these old-timer games have you done now? You've done them all? Yeah, I would think so.
Almost all of them.
You still get a big kick out of it, don't you?
All the time. This one changed today because you had people that had never been invited before, and people from the 70s that a lot of the younger folks here today recognize.
This pitch is popped up, and Ozzie Guillen, the shortstop, is there, and the side's retired. The Yankees get an opportunity, but it goes by the boards. No runs, no hits, a White Sox error, and Ricky Henderson's left at second base. 1 inning of play. Chicago nothing, the Yankees nothing. Allen for Hawk Harrelson. He'll be back with us when we head to Texas Thursday night. Yankees against the Rangers in Arlington. Scoreless ball game. Ivan Calderon will lead it off here for the White Sox.
He has a potent bat, doesn't he?
I'll tell you, and all this talk coming out of Los Angeles, Dodgers trying to peddle Mike Marshall. They're making it sound like, gee, wouldn't the White Sox be lucky to get Mike Marshall for Ivan Calderon? Jim Fregosi says, huh? I'm not letting this kid go. He's hitting .302, 11 home runs, 39 RBIs. Mattingly comes over. And he's got it. Calderon had a home run last night. 1 man out here in the second inning. Guidry struck out the side in the first.
17.
He had a couple of clutch hits last night.
Yeah.
First base.
He is a player. They kind of soured on him a little bit in Seattle. He was overweight. Here's Jerry Hairston.
He must have had some friends. No, we were talking about a fellow that had great potential, great prospect. Played with the old New York Giants, but ate himself out the league.
What are you talking about?
A fellow named Andy Cohen, way back in the early 20s. Went to he was from Mississippi, went to the University of Alabama, and the Giants signed him, and he was playing good ball, but he was invited, you know, banquet time all over in this area, and he didn't miss a meal.
1 ball, 1 strike to Jerry Hairston, one of the premier pinch hitters in the game. Playing first base this afternoon. Ron Guidry, a very deceiving 1-4 record because the Gator has pitched well. Down low, 2-1. Talking about the lively ball or whatever. Do you see, Mel, one of the theories some people are proposing, the strike zone shrinking? You're not getting those letter high strikes anymore.
I agree with that.
The pitcher goes behind 2-0, makes it kind of tough for him. Cerrone back, and this one will land on the screen. And the count 2 balls, 1 strike.
They always talk about standardization, first of all, about distances to fences. But that went by the boards because there are certain ballparks. Each ballpark has certain characteristics. Fenway, as an example. Wrigley Field. You just wouldn't want to change.
Oh, the new ballparks are like hospital rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sterile. They don't have the feel and the warmth of an old ballpark, like the couple you mentioned, and Yankee Stadium, of course. Yeah.
But the idea is, when you move from one town to another, you have to adjust your game. That's all part of it.
Hey, give me this ballpark. I'll tell you. 3-2. Strike 3 call. As Guidry gets Hairston for his 4th strikeout. And there are 2 men out here in the second inning. Borderline pitch right here.
I have to tell you this very quickly, so you remind me of it. We stayed on the south side for a long while in Chicago. We take the bus to the ballpark. And night game, wind be blowing. Finish it in a moment.
Ken Williams stepping in. Fouled away, strike 1. Go ahead, Bill.
It's generally known as a pitcher's park. Wind generally blows toward home plate. But when you drove up near the ballpark, to the ballpark, if you smelled the stockyards, you knew the wind had shifted, and everybody would holler on the bus, "It's a hitter's night tonight." He knew the wind was blowing the opposite way.
And they're going to build a new ballpark in Chicago. They hope to have confirmation from the city fathers sometime this summer. 0-2 pitch. Strike of 7-5 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Johnson with a couple of home runs for Hojo. Jose Cruz for the Astros. Leach the starter for the Mets. Sisk in the 4th. Myers in the 4th. Danny Darwin all the way for Houston. The Dodgers beat the Cubs 5-4 in the suspended ball game, and they're underway in the second one. Leary against Trout. Montreal at Cincinnati. San Diego, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Atlanta, San Francisco, St. Louis, all under the lights. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at the stadium. And Don Mattingly, the lead it off for the Yankees. We're all even at 2-2. Spencer Ross along with Mel Allen. Mel?
Thanks, Spence. And Don Mattingly, after striking out in the 1st inning, homered in the 3rd. And he lines this one into right field, but right at Calderon on one hop for a single. Sometimes holding him to a single is an achievement.
He's 2 for 3 right now and 3 for 5 last night.
He's average. He's about, well, he's a little closer to about 330.
They started day 333. Yeah. He's closer to 340 now, Mel. Oh,
we started the day 333. That's
yeah.
Right.
That's not bad for a guy who struggled.
Boy, that he has hit around 450 over since he came back from his back injury, because he was way down.
Well, since being activated going into last night's ball game, he was hitting 414. I'll tabulate it for you. Now 27 for 63, 29 for 66, about 450. I'm not going to tabulate that.
No,
close enough.
But he's had a lot of home runs and Dave Winfield taking the ball. A couple of grand slammers, 2 men on base. I mean, he certainly has moved up his RBI numbers as well. Notice Wade Boggs has been going for the long ball too, but still keeping his average way up. Look at that base hit into left field. Mattingly will have to stop at second. Got out to Reedus in a hurry.
That's the solid rope to left. And the Yankees have put runners at 1st and 2nd with nobody out, and a hurried call out to the Chicago White Sox bullpen.
I hate to say this, but nonetheless, it's just an opinion. As great a ball player as Mattingly is, but any ball player, you just can't take for granted, well, that's just going to be a single. And he sort of eases, trots on down to second. The ball might go through his legs. I'm used to fellows, you know, run hard and get there, maybe make the turn, or plays in front of you. And you know how far you can turn watching that outfield, and you get back.
As it turns out, Mattingly is at second.
And now we got, well, at least Lou Pinella's got to do a little thinking here with Claudell Washington coming up after the conference at the mound is now over.
Now we got
out to the catcher and popped out to second.
We've got a lefty and a righty up in the White Sox bullpen.
But here in the last, the 5th inning, scored tied. Do you waste a Claudell Washington? I'm going to say waste him. Have him bunt. Because you got Gary Ward on deck. If he, let's assume he did a bunt. Move the runners over. You got first base open. You could put Ward on first. Now you bypass 2 hitters.
Yeah, but then you got
a Pagliarulo up, and you bring in a left-hand pitcher. You had a double play situation.
I think Frugosi'd like to stay with this youngster right now, if he could. And as you say, though, if he does walk him, and then they walk the next batter, it would necessitate Brian Clark, the lefty, coming out.
There's a strike. The thing I really was trying to get at, I'm not a manager. I mean, we're left to play the game.
Oh, yeah. Everybody plays.
I would have Claudell swinging. He might hit into a triple play here, but
Strike 2. We'll get no bunt here.
No, you listen to managers talk, and according to your batting order, if you walk a certain man and you're going to put the next man on, you've lost 2 of your best hitters. And so you don't pay them not to swing the bat. There's a drive to right field, not too deep. Started out pretty good. Not going to advance anybody either. That's the most important part about that out. If a little deeper, Mattingly could have tagged up and gone to third. It was a fly ball to a little better than shallow right field, which Calderon took. Used to be a lot of interesting discussions. If you had a Maris, for example, coming up and a Mantle and then a Skowron, and you had a tight ball game, and like 2 men on, runners on second and third. Would you walk Maris, set up a double play, or things of that kind? Who have you got next?
That's right. You got to figure.
You got 3 guys in a row can put the ball in the seats. Gary Ward misses, strike 1. Anyway, it was his theory that a good hitter, with certain situations, obviously last of the 9th inning, got a chance to win the game or tie it, might play a little bit differently. He check swing that one. Ball hit his bat, bounced to the box, over to first. De Leon to Hairston as the runners advance a base each. Mattingly to third. Winfield to second. Now you turn it around.
We may see a
Look
walk right
behind
here.
you in retrospect if he'd have laid down the bunt. Now you have 2 outs, runners on second and third.
And we may see an intentional walk right here.
And Mike Pagliarulo up. You got Rick Cerrone on deck, and you are going to get an intentional pass. That's what makes the game, though. Okay, we walk him.
Now it's Pinella's move. Let's see if Pinella goes to Salas. And if Pinella goes to Salas, will Fregosi go to Brian Clark?
Depends how hungry they are. You get the bases loaded, and you better get the ball over the plate. There's the ball for the intentional pass. Mike had walked also in the 4th inning and single to center in the 2nd.
Well, Pinella was not willing to bite right there. He'll stay with Cerrone. And I think even if Salas had come in, Fregosi wasn't going to bite the other way and pull De Leon out of the ball game this early.
Pinella's also thinking that, well, here we are in the 5th inning only. I want to have my catcher still in there. Thinking of defense. Also, has 2 catchers, and I lose one if I take Cerrone out of there. 0-1 the count. Bases loaded. Mattingly on third, Winfield on second, Pagliarulo on first. 2 down, last of the 5th. White Sox 2, the Yankees 2. Jose De Leon delivers. It's a high foul out of play to the left of the plate. Upper deck, just misses it. Jose is pitching a fine ball game, although he's given up 7 hits. He's been tough in the clutch. Given up 1 home run to Don Mattingly. Guidry's given up 2 homers for the 2 White Sox runs. Don Mattingly on third. Dave Winfield on second. Mike Pagliarulo on first. Outfield straight away. 2 strikes on Cerrone. And he fouls it off on a check swing.
Well, the Yankees have had their opportunities this afternoon. Go back to the 1st inning.
Yeah.
With Henderson reaching on the error by Hill, going to second on the stolen base. Nobody out. He was unable to score. Right here, bases loaded. Yankees left him loaded in the 4th, and they've got him loaded here again in the 5th.
They've left 6 men on already, and that's fouled back. Got just a piece of that. 0-2 the count. Rick hitting .206. Lou Piniella looking on to coin a phrase. And Cerrone takes it up high. De Leon in the driver's seat. Count in his favor. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 men out. 3 runners lead away. And Rick Cerrone hits one into right field, but it's right at Calderon for out number 3. And his shoelace.
Come on, Mel.
All right.
Stay with it.
I'm with it. Ivan Calderon takes a pitch as we play the top of the 6th inning for a strike from Ron Guidry, who has struck out 12 men.
Now, you folks back home wondering where's the Hawk? Well, Ken Harrelson back home in Chicago, just getting a little rest, and we're going to have the Hawk back with us come next Thursday night in Texas.
Low and away, ball 1, 1-1. I had a good time with him about a year ago up in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
He's a great personality.
Yeah. That was right before he was made general manager of the White Sox for a while. A 1-1 count on Calderon. Takes a hard swing. 1-2 the count. He fouled out the first and the second inning, struck out in the third. Always a dangerous man. 300 batting average. Can hit the long ball. 11 homers. Giving in 39 runs. Ron Guidry with 12 strikeouts. Crowd applauding. They want another one. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball wide of short into left center for a base hit. The 5th hit given up by Guidry. Gave up 3 of the 5 in the 3rd inning. 2 of them were homers. Donnie Hill and Jerry Royster. An infield hit by Baines.
Well, this is the 4th straight inning. The White Sox have put the lead runner aboard, and this ground ball just beyond the reach of Wayne Tolleson. In the 3rd inning, Hill led it off with a homer. In the 4th, Hairston a base on balls. Guidry then struck out the side. In the 5th, Guillen had a base hit, also through the hole in the left field. Actually, a looping fly ball to left field, and then Guidry came back out the next 3. But you cannot continue to put that lead runner aboard. Calderon has good speed. He's stolen 8 this year.
Jerry Hairston took a 3rd strike and walked. Pagliarulo in close at 3rd. Randolph in a few steps at 2nd. There's a high fly foul down the left field line into the upper deck. He got around on it, but pulled too much.
Yankee bullpen busy once again. Pat Clements up for about the 4th time now. He keeps getting up. Got up in the 3rd, got up again in the 4th, and right here in the 6th.
Foul back up on the netting. 0-2 the count.
Quite a performance thus far by Guidry.
As you said earlier, how long can he hold out? And his strength.
So
he's a wiry rascal.
Yeah, he's a strong 165 pounds.
Jerry Hairston takes strike 3 call. Got the outside part of the plate, and he didn't like it. He is face to face with Rocky Rose. What do you say, Mr. Rose? Here comes Jim Fregosi out. They try to get the batter away from the umpire because he wants him to stay in the game. First base coach came running down too. He's quieting Jerry Hairston down. The 13th strikeout for Ron Guidry. Struck out 18 men in the game in 1978, and he had that spectacular record of 25-3.
But right there, that pitch from that angle, tough to tell, but close to that outside corner. But Hairston certainly did not think so. So he has struck out twice. Now, this ball game becomes even more important to the Yankees because Kansas City's beaten Toronto 2-1.
All over.
Saberhagen won his 15th. Jimmy Key, the loser, Larry Yohen, had a 2-run homer to account for
that
all the runs for
that
Kansas
individual
City.
performance is indicative of the Mets, Cardinals, Toronto. They won year before last and then had off seasons last year, coming back this year.
Now, Kansas City had so many problems last season. Not the least was the loss of their fine manager, fine person, Dick Howser.
Ken Williams struck out twice. Fouls it off to the right of the plate, out of play upstairs. He looked at third strikes in both the second and fourth innings. To look back over the scoreboard, over the scorecard, Jerry Royster, who homered in the third, struck out on either side of that homer, swinging in the first, struck out in the fifth, and then Rita struck out twice. There's a foul down the right field line out of play. But he walked in that third inning when the White Sox got their 2 runs. Of course, Donnie Hill led off with a homer. Karkovice struck out. But anyway, Royster struck out twice, Ritas twice, Baines once, Calderon once, Hairston twice, Williams twice, Donnie Hill twice, Karkovice twice. And here's Ken Williams right now, and there's a drive deep down the left field line, going foul on the foul side of the yellow pole. You know, once upon a time, those yellow poles used to be on the inside of the fence. And a great story about how they finally got moved behind the fence, so that when a ball does hit that yellow pole, it's automatically a home run because it is outside the playing field.
Let's take another look at this, Mel. That pitch just kind of hangs, and Williams thinks he has himself a home run. It is close, but foul by about 15 feet.
There was a ball hit at the Polo Ground. Cincinnati was playing the Giants. The umpire called it a foul ball. It was against Cincinnati. Foul back up here. And no, it was against, he called it fair. Billy Jurgis came shooting out of the Giants dugout. And Big Bill Major-Curthy back to the plate. And what an argument. They didn't have that little screen on the foul pole either, extending into fair territory. Pitch is high and inside. Because sometimes when you can't tell for sure which side the pole went on, obviously it hits a screen. You can't see the screen unless you get a little closer to the pole. But it'll hit the screen, you know that's in fair territory. They got face-to-face arguing about that, and right between third and home, right on the foul line, and Mage chewed tobacco. His cheek poked out, and a lot of spittle unintentionally spewed all over Jurgis's face. Struck him out. Third time in a row. Number 14.
This is remarkable, Guidry. 14 strikeouts. His career high, as you mentioned, 18. And we're only in the 6th inning. There have only been 3 balls that have been hit for outs. And right here, big strikeout for Guidry.
Just to finish that story, finally get it out. Jurgis got so angry because tobacco spit all over his face. He just hauled off and spit right in Major-Curthy's face. There's a strike. That cost him 10 days and a fine. But that eventually led to a decision, you know, part of baseball, to put the foul poles behind the fences and the little screens up. And Harry Kraft was involved in that. Later worked for the Yankees. High fly ball to left field. Not too deep. Ward makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on, and a hand for Guidry as he comes off the field. An ovation, in fact, and the score at the end of 5 1/2. The White Sox 2, the Yankees 2.
Man, the Super Bowl hero, Phil Simms, in attendance here this evening. Tell the folks he's going to be at the Spencer Ross Clubhouse Monday night in Glen Rock, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah?
Good buddy. Nice man. Phil, who led the Giants to the Super Bowl championship, in attendance tonight with his wife.
Look how long his fingers are.
He could throw a football, and he proved to everybody he's as good. There's Diane. A lovely, lovely family. And here's a young man who really, I don't think it's not going to have a negative effect on his head. He's just been a positive kid, positive gentleman throughout his career. And from him we go to the rifleman, Chuck Connors. Was in a new TV series, I understand.
Find anything there, Chuck?
Chuck was Chuck, the old Brooklyn Dodger property.
Where you say, Chuck?
There he is.
Great Dodger first baseman. I think he played 1.5 games.
Take it easy.
Now,
he was with the Dodgers.
We kid with him every once in a while. You know, you run across him here or there. And he even kids, you know, himself about his.
Well, he was with the Hollywood Stars, and I
Yeah.
understand it was a couple of times when they wanted to bring him up to the big leagues. He said, "No, don't bring me up. I want to stay down here. I'm going to have a better career in Hollywood than I'm going to have in baseball." And he was right.
He knew what the future held. Well, you got Wayne Tollison leading off here in the last of the 6th with a 1-0 count.
And
Now it's a 2-0 count. Tollison single to left in the 4th inning. Scores tied at 2-2. Tollison grounded out to second in the 2nd inning and single to left in the 4th. Important single, drove in a run. The 2nd Yankee run, which tied the score at that point at 2-all. And that's what the score is, 2-all. Jose De Leon pitching for the Chicago White Sox. Foul back.
That was a big hit by Tollison his last at bat.
He kept trying to go to the opposite field, runner in scoring position. He finally got one out to left center. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield well spread out. Fouls it to the left of the plate. Out of play.
Good catch by a fan in the upper deck.
He sure tries and so often does with 2 strikes on him. Hang in there. Gets just a piece of that ball. Fouls off a lot. Payoff pitch hit high to right, but not deep. Ivan Calderon under it. One hands it. 1 down. He played with the White Sox. It's not trivia, but the ball, get a nick of it till you get a pitch you like.
He was sitting down the first baseline. You were very careful when Ashburn had 2 strikes on him. A lot of baseballs coming your way. Down the third baseline, excuse me. He was a left-handed hitter.
Ricky Henderson missed a pitch that broke blowing away from him. Safe on an error in the 1st inning. Line to right in the 3rd. Drew a pass in the 4th. Lou Piniella looking for some action on the part of his team on offense. And it is inside, up around the shoulders. Talked about that this year from players and everything.
Ball had come in and out of the park.
Ground ball down to 1st. And Henderson is retired by Hairston, an assistant. So De Leon is having an easier inning here in the 6th. The bases loaded in the last 2 innings. They had to throw a lot of pitches. In only 1 inning has he not had a man left on base. Willie Randolph fouls it off. But of course, in that particular inning, Don Mattingly homered for the Yankees' first run.
Yeah, but he's a strong man, and once again, his team just not getting enough runs for him. Comes to a ball game with a record of 5-8, an ERA of under 4 a game, 3.96.
Both pitchers are worried about that today. Low and away. What you and I were talking about, though, we don't know just how far Guidry can go now. The other day, he went all the way. But when he was younger, you would expect it. 1 ball, 1 profiling the top 10 bars all summer long. And in the fall, named the top
2-2. Carlton Fisk remains in the ball game behind the plate after pinch hitting for Ron Karkovice.
You know who this first batter up for the Yankees is? Pitching for the Sox is Jim Wynn now, by the way.
And that is it for Jose De Leon.
Yep.
You see Wynn's numbers, 4 and 5, ERA of 3.92. He saved a couple of ball games, 59 and 2/3 innings pitched, 54 hits. He's walked 42 and struck out 26. He's a tough man to have to put in a ball game in the middle of an inning to try and get you out of a jam because of those control problems. Well, Wynn has been a pretty effective pitcher for the White Sox. His last outing, he did take the loss against Baltimore in a 10-inning ball game when Eddie Murray socked a home run off of him, but he pitched 3 2/3 innings of 1-run ball. That was the only run. And the story on Jose De Leon.
He worked it. Yeah, excuse me. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill.
I didn't know whether you had the total. He worked 6 innings. Given up 7 hits, walked 3, struck out 2, and given up 2 runs. Won a home run by the man at bat right now, Don Mattingly.
Mattingly 2 for 3 this afternoon. A home run coming back in the 3rd inning. He then singled in his next at bat. First pitch, ball 1. Jim Wynn.
If Mattingly can hit another one out, I'm going to have him join me on looking for one of the 10 best sports bars in the New York metro area for Sports Channel.
Pitch in the outside corner for a strike.
We're talking about those sports bars, you know.
Sports bar. I know what you mean. 1 ball, 1
where,
strike.
You know, has your picture on the wall.
Your picture, man. Your picture. 2-1. Jimmy Wynn, who came over from the Pittsburgh Pirates in that deal that sent Johnny Cangelosi to Pittsburgh, was 3 and 5 for the Pirates last year in 50 games. Had 3 saves. Big fella, 6'3", 215 pounds from Stockton, California. Mattingly has a base hit.
3 more base hits.
Man's unbelievable. 3 for 5 last night. 3 for 4 this afternoon.
Here he is again. That ball started to tail away, but it was over the plate and far enough away for him to be able to extend his arms and go up the middle with it. Now, he wasn't trying to hit a home run. He was a leadoff man. He wanted to get on base. That doesn't mean that if he pitch had been a little somewhere else, he thought he could have pulled deep, he would. But don't you think that you're just trying to get on base?
And it kind of separates him from a lot of people in this game. He gets his job done, whatever the job might be for the particular time. And here's Winfield, who was 1 for 3, singled in his last at bat, followed Mattingly's base hit in the 5th inning. The Yankees left him loaded in that frame. First and second, nobody out, and then with 2 outs, De Leon walked Pagliarulo intentionally and got Cerrone.
Here's a difficult problem for Lou Piniella. You have a followed bat.
Wynn thought that was a strike. Excuse me, it is a strike.
Hitting 4th in the order, your cleanup man. And he's having an outstanding year, hitting .296, 20 homers, 68 RBIs. I'm not with leaders, but here's the pitch.
Piniella
for a strike, huh?
Yeah, Piniella and Winfield trying to say pull the bat back. Pitch looked like it might have been in there anyway. And it is strike 1.
Anyway, what I started to say to you, you have a guy like this, bunt, he has a propensity to hitting double plays, but now you got a guy on first, nobody speed on first either.
And the bat goes flying past Mike Ferraro down the 3rd baseline, and the count is 0-2.
Carlton Fisk, I think the ball hit him. I thought a piece of the bat may have broken it all, but it didn't.
Yeah, Carlton got hit.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's wearing a cup. No balls, 2 strikes.
Don't hurry, Carlton. Take your time.
No, Carlton never hurries. He never interrupts.
Well, you got to look at Winfield's feet first, see where his batting position is.
Outside, ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dave Winfield. Bottom of the 7th, we're tied at 2. Mattingly leads it off with a base hit to center. His third hit of the ball game, 8th hit of the game for the Yankees. Last run in this ball game, Yankees tied it in the 4th. An RBI single by Wayne Tolleson. And the pitch is bounced slowly to third. There's going to be no play at all.
Base hit. He really finally eventually turns it on like a middle distance. Yeah.
Claudel shortening up. Royster looking to charge in from third. What a beautiful bunt. No play.
Everybody's going to be safe. Everybody's going to be safe. They called it a base.
That they're even with a bag at first and third. But anything hit to Guillen or to Hill might result in a double play, but the Yankees would take the lead. Nobody out, bases loaded.
He was pointing to his cornerman.
Yeah. So Jim Wynn on a relief of Jose De Leon has gotten into a jam here. 3 straight hits, 2 of them the infield variety. One on the
Infield is set up just like it was with nobody out. It depends just where to what side that ball is hit. If it's hit in the infield, whether you go home or with 1 out now, you can go.
smash. Good play by Royster. This could be 2 to Hill for 1. The double play. Jerry Royster ranging to his left takes a base hit away from Henry Cotto and turns over a 5-4-3 double play. And what a beauty, Mel Allen.
Look at that pickup, and that ball was really hit hard. And the throw over to Hill, Hill to Hairston, and the Yankees hope.
Yep. James trying to get it by him. Outfield straight away. Cerrone down at second. 180 feet from home. And a possible Yankee victory in the bottom of the 8th. Full count pitch. And a fastball rocked into left field for a base hit. Boston up with it. Cerrone waved on in. The throw. He is out. Down to second on the throw goes Henderson as Darrell Boston uncorked the beauty to the plate. The Yankees took the chance. What was necessary was a perfect throw from Boston, and he put it right on the line, and Fisk was waiting to apply the tag.
It was a great play by Darrell Boston. Again, here it is. Ricky Henderson with a potential winning run on second lines it to left field. Darrell Boston up with it. Here rounding third is Rick Cerrone, not known for his speed.